As a Livonia resident, I love seeing investments like this into our community. Today, I cannot wait to give you a guided tour of the brand new Livonia Senior Center, a modern space for activity, connection, and community for our most experienced residents. Today, we are at the brand new state-of-the-art Senior Center right in central Livonia, attached to the Rec Center. And we have the pleasure of getting a guided tour from none other than the Director of Parks and Recreation, Ted Davis himself. Ted, you ready to show me around this place?
I am ready to show you, Dave. I'm excited for it.
Let's go check it out.
You know, we wanted to have this larger seating area. And even you can see we kind of delineated out like seating area with the flooring versus hallway with the flooring, right? We wanted to take things we had really learned from the Rec Center over the years, like what really works, and apply it to this space. So like the Rec Center, you have your front desk area, your back offices are supporting that. We wanted to do something similar here where, again, your full-time staff, they're instantaneous right up to the front desk if there's any issues. We also wanted to do workstations here.
Well, I see the charging blocks and all that.
I'll hit this first one. This is our artisan's workshop. And so we have two maker spaces in this facility. Our main floor one is far more industrial. So this is woodworking. I don't see the kiln in here. We have ceramics in here, stained glass, a non-slip concrete floor, right? We didn't do LVT in here or carpeting, and you'll see that upstairs in a lot of spaces. We wanted this to be an industrial, open, exposed ceiling, your butcher blocks on your tabletops. We wanted this to feel like your high school wood shop. Or your middle school wood shop, depending on the school you went to.
If my old man was still around, he would definitely be spending some time in this space for sure.
And this is one of these things where we have limited pieces of equipment. We're gonna continually add more. And you know, we have the wood carvers club in here, and there's a woodworkers club, you know, and we want to include them in that process of adding more things and, you know, as time goes on in this space.
Very cool.
This is the side you're going to see your communal meals taking place on. This pretty much stays set like this. This is about 20% bigger than the space in the old facility. What we did also try to do is give multiple different seating options. You see we got the 8-foot rounds. We've got some rectangular with benches over here. We usually have some other rectangular set up as well.
And I see all of your rollers have locks on them.
We do have locks on all the rollers. So this side pretty much stays set up like this. On this side over here, this is far more multi-purpose, and both sides could be, but it's set up over here right now. We had table tennis in here earlier in the day. We'll run classes out of here. Again, the idea being that you can run, I mean, this wall is movable, so this whole thing can open up completely. This is the same sound deafening as 2 sheets of drywall and insulation.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it is, from a sound perspective, it is just like having a wall here.
Nice.
So I do want to point out in here, 2 things actually. One, the partial map of Livonia, wanted to highlight that. I think that's a cool feature. The other thing is the ceiling. Our base setup, you can literally take your 8-foot tables, place them in the middle. And that will be your setup for a banquet.
I love the map. That's probably my single favorite. Just I can see where I grew up and I can see where I live now.
Yeah, 36 by 36 doesn't really go well in a giant rectangle. And obviously we're missing a lot north and south, but we centered it on 5 Mile.
You would need an auditorium height.
We would need a much bigger map, or you'd need to, we spent so much time on that too, and how we wanted to lay that out. It was ridiculous, but I think we got it right. So I do want to point out my favorite room down here was the Bentley conference room. If we have any Bentley grads, they actually just finished the display case. They're still working. There's going to be glass shelves in there. Our favorite Bentley Bulldog.
They've got the Bulldog.
Resting place is going to be here on display for all time. And we really wanted to come up with a way to honor the site. This was the former site of Bentley High School. My dad was a Bulldog. You know, this space in and of itself, it's a conference room. It's a good sized conference room. We'll have commission meetings in here.
Well done. I think you guys nailed it.
If anyone's a fan of Anastasia and Katie's, we're still waiting on, this is going to be coming soon. Probably at this point, it'll be first week in January, we're hoping.
Okay.
Where they'll start, and they're calling this Good and Strong. And this is going to be accessible for both the Senior Center and the Rec Center participants. So we're excited about that partnership. And if you're familiar with their mission and what they do, workforce training for development, special needs individuals. We thought, again, not profit motivated.
Yeah, no, I love seeing the city and some of the great establishments kind of merge. This is a great idea. I cannot wait to get a cup of coffee for the next swim class I get to sit through.
There you go. There you go. When kids are in swim lessons, you'll be able to get a cup of coffee. Okay. So here we are on the second floor.
Beautiful.
First place is the Players Club. So this is a dedicated card room. You can see, I'll point out multiple configurations. We have our movable wall up right now, TVs, sinks, refrigerators, microwaves on both sides of these spaces. I always like to point this out. This is called Kinetics, this flooring. It looks like carpeting, but it's actually PVC carpeting, really.
Interesting. So it's fully recycled?
Yeah, it's fully recycled. You could mop it. Take you over on the other side. We have two large multi-purpose spaces over there. So you can see, same type of flooring as we had in the other space. Your movable wall is up right now because there's a group on the other side. You got window, TV, sink, refrigerator. Again, this was set up more as lecture space, meeting room space, card overflow.
Right.
But you could easily run fitness classes out of here.
Nice.
You could change the purposes of these rooms. The equipment can all be moved out. These chairs do have wheels. We've heard the comment about bigger people have trouble. I'm a bigger person. I fit in here. We focused in on, a lot of them have arms.
Right.
Again, if you have trouble getting up,
get you right up and out.
You could use the arms. We really tried to make those conscious decisions in design of the facility and then even our furniture choices. We call this our movement studio. So we had designed this for our fitness classes to be in this space. Again, we have movable wall. We can do a couple different configurations. Sound system in here, wireless mics for instructors to utilize. But again, really the push for us was we had some huge classes at the old facility, and it was, how can we design a space that's going to accommodate that and then future growth as well? Every person I brought up here has been like, whoa,
no, this is amazing.
This is a big space.
But it's already out. You got the yoga balls, the weights. I see some of the steppers.
Yep.
I'd imagine there's yoga mats floating around somewhere.
Yep, there sure is.
If you could just say a couple key differences, and I know there's many, between this space and where we're coming from, the original senior center.
Yeah, we really focused in on having large multi-use spaces. 10 years from now, and I joke, like, we'll go upstairs and we'll look at the Q room, which is our pool room. Okay, today it's pool, it's billiards. In 10 years, could it easily be a gaming room like for video games?
Right.
Because Gen X now is coming behind it. But that's what you do, is you try to design spaces that are as future-proof as possible, right? So you're gonna look at a lot of these spaces we have, they're larger and you can break them up into different configurations.
And I think it's amazing that you can repurpose a space for future use without reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
The design is there. And I think, when you look at what some of the, and at times accurate knocks on what some of the city buildings have been not able to do, it is that future proofing.
Yep.
So I think that it's brilliant that was kind of in the foresight in this space right now.
Again, the old buildings certainly served the city very well for a long period of time, and people loved the facility, and they talked about how homey it was, and they felt comfortable there, and we want those things.
How much did this building actually cost the Livonia taxpayer?
It's hard to parse out because part of this project is the rec center also. So there were two additions as part of this project, one right here, one on the west side where we built the new gym.
Yes.
So the rec center effectively gave up the former gymnastics space to the senior center.
Which was then added on the other side, or the space retrofitted.
Yeah, you've got this addition, that addition, you've got this whole renovation, and also you have a rec center renovation as part of it. The total project cost for all of it. That's architectural engineering, that's construction management, land acquisition, which we had to buy a portion of LPS property.
Yeah, some of the old Bentley property, right?
Yep. The rec center was already on the old Bentley property, and half of it basically got split in half. Half of it LPS retained, half of it the city has. So we did a small portion of that. We're at like 28.7, I think, is where we're at. So it's really hard to kind of parse out and say,
to quantify what's what.
Well, this was all senior center. This was all rec center. The vast majority of this project is senior center. I mean, don't get me wrong. The rec center is getting a nice renovation. We're expanding the fitness center, the Fit Hub. We're adding some multi-purpose spaces.
I can tell you, I'm very much looking forward to that being open and highlighting that in a future video.
We're excited for it, and I am happy to share renderings with you. I mean, when you see the renderings, I think it's going to be such a wow effect. It's going to look like a whole different facility.
Excellent.
Before the old senior center, it was a 1960s church that has been renovated like 3 different times and added on to twice.
Well, then was it the courthouse after that?
No.
Okay.
It was a church. The city bought the church, right? And then it got kind of renovated and it became a senior center, and then it got added on to, and then it got renovated and then it got added on to again. And it kind of always felt that way. A little hodgepodgey. Right. And again, kind of narrower hallways and lower ceilings. And that's what we're really excited about is, some of the touches here, and the mayor was so instrumental in a lot of the design finishes here. I think it shows in it. I think we tried to focus in on, if you look at the wood and things like that, like natural finishes and things that we're gonna be as timeless as we possibly can.
It'll live a while, right?
Yeah. I mean, I look at the rec center and I look at some of the colors and I go, it has a 90s vibe to it.
Well, I can say with residential real estate, I can tell you when a remodel was done.
Yes.
Based on if it's brass, if it's wood, if it's white oak, you name it, everything has an era prescribed to it. There are some timeless things, which I think we've hit a lot in here. But yeah, there's always going to be something that tells you it's era. And if you want to learn more about great developments like this in and around the city, hit subscribe and follow, because I cannot wait to get back with my friend Ted when we talk about the awesome new development next door at the rec center when that reopens in all of its glory. If you want to stay updated on what's happening in and around Livonia, from developments to community projects, subscribe and follow along. And if you're looking to make a move to Livonia, give me a call today. It would be my honor to help you with the process.